For those who don't know, could you maybe tell them a little bit about your character in Domina?
Yeah, so I play a character called Drusus, and so at the beginning of the series, he starts off around, I think it's like 13, and he's one of the sons of Olivia, and it's basically for him in the story, it's his sort of journey from boy to man, and he's very much like, he wants like the power, and like he wants to be the next emperor, really, and it's very much for him, his storyline, that's what it sort of follows.
As you said, he wants power and glory. How far would you be willing to go for success?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know. Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I have to take whatever comes, really. I think loyalty is really important. I think for me as well. Anyway, I'll always put my family first, and that's what sort of Drusus does, which is what I quite admire about him. But I mean, he's definitely power hungry, and I don't know. I don't have any power, whereas he's like one in like the wealthiest family in Rome. So he's definitely like, yeah, he's definitely power crazy.
The show also features amazing costumes, and you filmed in Rome, right?
Yeah.
I think that makes the whole thing more authentic. But how did that help you get into character?
Well, I think because we were there for like 6 months, so we got to like travel around and see what's around Rome and where all these amazing like moments happened in history. So it definitely felt more authentic, and it definitely made it feel more real. Because if we didn't shoot in Rome, then we wouldn't really have known. I don't think we would have taken the history to heart as much. I don't think.
I think the show is great because it introduces viewers like me who don't know much about Roman history to certain parts of it. What did you know about it before, or how much did you learn from the show?
So it's funny you say that. So at the beginning, I actually didn't know much. I only really like watched like Gladiator and those sort of films. But I think definitely doing the show made me more invested in it, and it's definitely a really interesting era, particularly for Livia, because it's such a male-dominated era. So for her, like to be in this environment and be battling to try get like to be the powerful empress, it's crazy, and it's fascinating, her story.
Absolutely. But during one of the more lighthearted scenes, the younger characters are racing with their terrapins, I think. I hope no animals were harmed while shooting, but
No,
did they actually race? Were they even real? How did that work?
they were real, yeah. And so I remember on the day we had, because I've never actually ever held one in my life. So we got them, and then we got like some like greenery, so they'd like try and get the food and stuff. And I remember in one of the takes later on, Tiberius, so Earl Cave, he's holding one of the terrapins, and just before, I think it was just because we called action. I was walking into the room, and the terrapin just absolutely weed all over its costume. It was just covered in like urine. So it was, they were cheeky little things.
Definitely real animals.
Yes, definitely real, yeah.
And how did you guys on the cast spend your free time in Italy, especially since you were shooting while COVID started, I think, right?
Yeah, we started shooting before COVID and during as well. So it's definitely hard when we went back, because we didn't know like if we could be close to each other or anything. So it's definitely really like they were really on it, Sky, and but I think we had the most amazing time. For me anyway, I definitely had the most amazing time I've probably ever had. It was absolutely incredible, and I'm so humbled to be and honored to be involved in this production.
You worked with many talented people on the series, like Keisha Smatniak and Earl Cave. What did you learn from them during this experience?
I think because I had a lot of scenes with Earl and Kasha, so I got to work with them really well and get to know them, and they really are the most lovely people, and particularly with Earl, because when we went back in summer to film, we lived in an apartment for like 9 weeks. So because he plays my big brother in the show, he really felt like my brother, and he'd like, you know, give me advice and stuff. So he was a really lovely guy, and I definitely learned a lot from everyone, really. Everyone, I always like asking them questions all the time and stuff.
That's great. And what did you learn from the main character, from Olivia in her story?
I think I learned how fascinating it is, that the fact that like in that era, like her story was such a powerful story, and like before I've never heard of this story. I mean, I think when you look back, particularly in that era, at like all the historical figures, you think, oh, it's all male dominated. There's all these male figures, and it's never really talked about the female's perspective. And her story is better than some, so it's definitely fascinating, and it's really inspiring to see what she went through and how much she had to sacrifice and stuff.
Absolutely, I agree. One of the main themes in Domina is power. What makes you feel powerful?
I don't know. I think I really enjoy acting, and it's definitely the thing I've always wanted to do. So I think that gives me certain powers in when I'm in my element and I'm like I'm on set and I'm ready to do a scene. I think I always feel maybe not powerful, but I feel in the, you know, I feel it's something that I really want to do and I really enjoy. So I think there's a certain power with that. But yeah.
Yes, and I can imagine feeling confident when you can do what you love. So on your rise to power as an actor, what sort of role would you love to play in the future?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I think I'll take anything that comes my way. But I mean, the dream role would be some sort of like American film, to be like, to do, yeah, something. I don't know. I mean, I really enjoy watching. I think like Timothy Chalamet or Tom Holland. They're amazing and they're absolutely killing it. So something maybe along whatever their career is doing, because I just heard the other day that Timothy Chalamet is playing Willy Wonka in the
Yes.
new Wonka film. I thought, it was like, wow, that's an incredible role. So
Absolutely.
good on him.
So maybe we'll see you as a Marvel superhero out there someday.
maybe Spider-Man in like 20 years time.
Speaking of the future, what would you hope to see for Drusus in a second season of Domina? If he makes it that far.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah. I don't know. I think for him, at the end of I don't want to spoil it. I think for him, he's wanting to rule and have power. So I think definitely something to do with like leading armies or I don't know, something. I think he wants a chance in battle. He wants to be part of the armies and stuff. So I think that's something he definitely want to do.
Ewan, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you
especially since you've been so busy. I really appreciate you taking the time.
No, I appreciate you giving me time. This is
Absolutely.
fantastic. Thank you so much.
So I will be looking out for you in the Marvel universe. Good luck with the show. Bye.
Thank you very much. See you later.